The devil sneered, gripping its saw-toothed glaive as it advanced. Its venomous beard twitched, eager to strike. Aldrich met the charge, his shield barely deflecting the heavy blow. The devil's beard lashed out, barb sinking into his forearm. Pain flared as the poison seeped in. Elric, the cleric, raised a hand. "Hold on! But his magic faltered, repelled by the infernal toxin. The devil laughed. "No healing will save you now!" Vela, the rogue, lunged her daggers, seeking weak points, but the fiend was too fast. Azric, the dragonborn sorcerer, hurled a blast of fire. The devil barely flinched. Aldrich faltered, his grip failing. The devil raised his glaive for the killing blow, and then Velia slipped behind it, yanking the weapon from its grasp, and with a single ruthless strike, she drove the jagged blade into the devil's side. He gasped, clawing at the wound. Infernal magic turned against it, prevented from healing. It staggered, then collapsed, choking on its own cursed blood. Elric knelt beside Aldrich, magic flowing at his fingertips. This time, it worked. Welcome. Today's video is on the Bearded Devil. First, what does the monster manual tell you? Well, honestly, not a lot. They are also known as Barbazoos. They are the foot soldiers in the Nine Hells. If not involved in warfare, bearded devils manipulate mortals to abuse power and act tyrannically. It's said that evildoers aligned with the Nine Hells can also call upon bearded devils to fight for their army. And then the eponymous beard is a series of poisonous tentacle-like growths from the face and neck. The poison from within prevents magical healing. Bearded devils are also known for their unique glaive, which imparts a wound, which grows worse over time if not magically healed. Next, stats. So, the Bearded Devil are medium-sized devils, which are CR3. They have 13 AC and a 58 hit points. Bearded Devil's stats are mostly better than a commoner and not superhuman. Their highest stat is Strength at 16, and their lowest is Intelligence at 9, the only worse than 10. Bearded Devils have a small list of resistances and immunities, with 1 resistance to cold and 2 immunities in fire and poison. They have dark vision up out to 120 feet, which isn't impeded by magical darkness, like other devils. The Bearded Devil also features telepathy to 120 feet, and magical resistance, granting advantage on saves versus spells. The Bearded Devil gets 1 beard and 1 infernal glaive attack as part of its attack action. The beard deals 7 damage and gives the poison condition, with the caveat being that the creature can't gain health until the condition is cured. The infernal glaive attack deals 8 average damage and forces the target to make a DC 12 con save. On a fail, the target takes an infernal wound, where it loses 1d10 damage at the start of each of its turns until the wounds are magically healed, or a DC 12 medicine check is made, or 1 minute passes. These 2 attacks synergize well, making the target be unable to magically heal from the beard, and then have to slowly die as the infernal glaive's infernal wound festers. Next, what does the monster manual not tell you? So, bearded devils are 6 feet tall, 225 pound, green skinned, or purple skinned, depending on the edition, creatures with a humanoid, roughly structured body. The skin was often covered in slimy scales. They were said to be explosively violent, using any opportunity to enact their cruel violence. Bearded devils are said to have an innate desire to kill and frighten, which makes them the perfect frontline soldiers in the Blood War. Due to their low intellect, they were more suited as followers than leaders. The Bearded Devils have sentimental attachment to their glaives, and they would stubbornly reject another of greater quality. The eponymous beard contained maggots and a disease called devil chills, which gave the victim a painful burning rash. In other editions, this disease was also called a vernal fever. The Bearded Devil's fearsome demeanor and the reputation of devils in general as merciless combatants could demoralize foes before the fighting even began. Bearded Devils exploited this fear, often taunting or mocking their opponents to provoke them into making tactical errors. In previous editions, Bearded Devils were immune to attacks from non-magical, non-silvered weapons. In 3.5, Bearded Devils could summon once per day 2d10 lemures and had a 35% chance of spawning another Bearded Devil. So let's wrap this up. In conclusion, for what is meant to be a simple frontline inventory, the Bearded Devil actually makes for interesting low-level encounters, or even as a mob to scale into the late game. There are a few criticisms I have. Firstly, this monster is lawful in alignment only. Some sources I read describe it as basically the most chaotic of the devil forces, albeit this is a criticism of the archaic and problematic structure of the alignment chart as it has existed for the past 50 years. But still, this could easily have been a demon or reflavored to better fit as a devil. The monster entry does a lazy thing that I've noticed in the new book, wherein if there isn't enough lore to fill the text box, they just describe the feature listed in the stat block. Like, yes, the beard is important, but why not mention the fact that it includes maggots or give a name for the disease the poison causes? My last point is a small gripe with the art. So the monster is clearly described as wielding a glaive, but the weapon shown in the 2024 art is clearly a spear. I would forgive the art directors if the glaive wasn't saw-toothed like in previous editions, but just giving the creature a spear and calling it a glaive irks me. In previous editions, the Barb Devil could hook and pull player characters back into melee using a spike on the bottom of its glaive. Something like that could be a nice addition. Maybe give it like a 20 or 15 foot range, just sort of like grapple and pull the target in. That could be a nice little addition that I would add. Overall, the stats are actually quite cool. The lore I find lacking. I'm going to give this monster a 12 out of 20.